Do we reject ancient wisdom because it is unscientific or because we simply do not yet have the tools to measure what it was describing? Every time we speak about chakras, energy, alignment, consciousness, someone asks, where is the scientific proof? That question is important, but it may not be complete. For decades, many ancient concepts were labeled mythology, not necessarily because they were wrong, but because they were not measurable. Science measures, ancient wisdom observed. An observation without instruments was once the only way human beings understood life. Now neuroscience is evolving, quantum physics is evolving. What we confidently call proven today is often a milestone in discovery, not the final truth. So perhaps the real issue is not science versus ancient wisdom. Perhaps the real issue is integration. To understand where transformation really happens, we need to separate three things: language, mechanism, and application. Let's begin with language. Ancient systems used metaphors. They spoke about energy, chakras, imbalance, alignment. Modern science uses measurable constructs like neural circuitry, hormonal regulation, autonomic nervous system states. The vocabulary is different, but different vocabulary does not automatically mean different reality. Sometimes it simply means different tools. Dismissing older language because it lacks lab measurement is intellectually incomplete, but accepting it blindly without scrutiny is equally incomplete. Today, neuroscience shows us that emotional trauma reshapes neural pathways. Chronic stress alters gene expression. The body stores emotional memory through physiological activation patterns. Bioelectric signaling exists at the cellular level. Ancient systems described imbalance. Modern neuroscience describes dysregulation. The descriptions differ. The human experience does not. Ancient traditions were also methods of inquiry. Through centuries of observation, blind rejection becomes dogma. Blind acceptance also becomes dogma. Real integration requires intellectual humility. Now let's move to where transformation becomes practical. Historically, modern medicine focused on cure. Treat the disease, correct the breakdown, fix what is damaged. Ancient systems emphasized regulation and prevention. Regulation of breath, regulation of thought, regulation of behavior, regulation of lifestyle. Curative systems are reactive. Regulatory systems are proactive. And this is where neuroscience and ancient practice overlap most clearly. Breathing practices regulate the autonomic nervous system. Meditation alters neural connectivity. Lifestyle influences inflammatory markers. These are measurable. The bridge is already forming. But here is a deeper issue. Prevention feels like effort. Repair feels urgent. And urgency often feels more convincing than discipline. Many societies invest heavily in cure and underinvest in regulation. But collapse is always more expensive than maintenance. Real transformation does not happen when you choose ancient wisdom over science. It happens when you integrate long-term human observation with modern measurement. Ancient systems offered frameworks for regulation. Neuroscience is refining the tools to measure and optimize those frameworks. When framework and measurement align, growth becomes grounded. The real question is not, is ancient wisdom scientific? The real question is, are you willing to invest in regulation before you forced into repair? Because evolution does not belong to the side that argues louder. It belongs to the side that integrates faster. And integration is where real transformation happens.